Eve.
Great. Lots of questions answered. Can you see these okay? Okay. Yeah, so put number 1. Start. Yes, if you're not already started answering them, please do so. Please do so. What do you have for me, buddy? Okay. So question number 1. What is a summary?
Summary is what's the book about?
Okay. Number 1.
Kind of like that.
What is a summary?
Well, it's like writing about the book.
Once I put a writing, then I do a full sentence. Olivia, do you have the first question down? What? Okay, that's okay. If you're not sure, just put I am not sure, or give your best guess. We'll talk about these in about 3.5 minutes. So, doesn't need to be a long answer. I just want to know your thoughts, so have enough to share your thoughts. Now we gotta get that second question. What does it mean to summarize? Olivia, you may not know the first one. I finished that then. But I'm guessing you know what it means to do this, right? What does it mean to summarize? If you've done it, you probably know what it means to do that, right?
I feel like I've done it.
Okay, so give me your best guess on what you remember for number 2. Or put this under that one.
You don't need to write the question, just the answers. Why are summaries important?
Number 2, what does it mean?
Summaries are important because
Again, it doesn't have to be a long, lengthy answer, just enough so you can share your thoughts. You don't need to write the questions, just the answers. Just the answers. If you've already started, that's okay, but just go into working on the answers. You don't know what it means to summarize?
It means like what happened in the book.
Okay, if you're not sure, let's go into number 2 then. Why are summaries important? Why do you think summaries are important?
So whoever reads it knows what happened in the book without reading the book.
Let's change that a little bit. So, if I read a summary,
You know what happened in the book.
yeah, I should know what happened in the book. Right? And is it can be full of little things or big things?
Oh.
You can answer that to yourself, okay? What are you gonna have? That's a great answer statement. Okay, number 2, what is the name of it? How does that answer that question? Why do you think summaries are important? What would you think?
so the idea is
Oh, so then, okay, so you put this one as number 2? Okay, so then we gotta go to this one. Why are summaries important? Why do we need a summary? What's the purpose of it? What do we use for it? About a minute and a half. Try and get one more done. Try and wrap up where you are. We'll come together here. And if you don't have your thoughts on paper, that'll be okay. If you still have something to share, that's not going to stop you from sharing. Okay, let's make it quick. What's the main idea? Don't be straightforward, isn't it?
I don't kind of combine these two that I've already written.
No, I don't think we should do that.
Main idea of the summary is.
No. We're not comparing the two. I just want to know if I said, what is the main idea? What would you tell me?
Idea of the summary.
Don't even think about it, Simon. If I said, what is the main idea of this article, and you tell me the main idea, what is that main idea?
I say the main idea would probably be what the book's about.
Okay, let's get away from the word for it.
Like the title,
Title of that?
with the heading.
Now you're just guessing. You can't just guess. I don't know what is the main idea. If I asked you to define main idea, what would you say?
What happens in the book? And I have that down.
What is a main idea?
Connor, stop thinking of books. Think of
When you think
informational text. Right?
What happened?
so, the main idea of this article, I can tell you right now, is a young boy, probably about 5th grader, started a lawnmowing business and to advertise he wanted to mow the White House lawn. Okay, so what is that main idea? What does that do for you with regards to this?
To what does it function of what someone wanted to try to learn what business and what.
Now you're telling me exactly what I said. Not what is the main idea, what is a main idea?
Oh.
Gotta have something down. Gotta give you something done. What is the main idea? So I just showed you an article. I told you the main idea. What is that do for you?
How do you know what it's about?
Okay, I'll get a little more specific.
To know what your reading is about?
Sure, put that down. If you want to finish the last line you're on, that would be okay. But let's get started talking about this together. What is a summary? Vincent, can you tell me what a summary is? Nice and loud for me, buddy.
Like, how something about like something in like a shorter version.
So it's something about a book in a shorter version. So if I wanted to learn about a book, Vincent, I could read a summary and not have to read the whole book. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Would I know everything about the book then?
No.
No, why not?
Because there is no book.
Because I didn't read the whole book, right? Very good. So with that, does anybody else have anything different? Did you take a different avenue for what is a summary? Ella, what did you go for?
A summary is
So big things, right? So that goes back to like what Vincent was saying. We wouldn't know all the things about a book because it's a summary, right? Or an article because we didn't read the whole thing. We're just reading a summary of it. Very good. Hollis, what do you have to add?
Like I think a summary would be like a sentence or two about what the text is trying to teach you and tell you.
What is trying to teach you, if it's informational or trying to tell you? Very good. Okay, so what does it mean to summarize? They're very similar questions, but they're kind of different. Avi, what does it mean to summarize?
I think when you summarize, it's like if you're writing like a book, or like how well you did with the time for kids.
Okay.
If you summarize the main idea.
Okay. Kevin, where would you take it from there? What does it mean to summarize?
So you take the information that that's like a good idea, and then you write it down.
Do we take all the big ideas from a text, from an article, or from a book, and we put it into a shorter piece of writing? Nice. Okay. Now let's go into this one. Olivia, what is a main idea?
It's like the block of what like front number of my thing would be like the main thing.
So it's like a building block, right? It's like a foundation, super important, Chloe?
It's like the main topic that like you're or whatever.
The main idea is trying to drive home, right? Okay. So who has an example of a main idea? Maybe, what is something you're reading that would possibly have a main idea? Anybody have any ideas? Grace?
I know it's like I'm reading, but like I have like isn't like the main plot of it.
Kind of. The main idea would probably be incorporated with the plot. Iris?
Well, in social studies, the articles that we're reading, the main topic is whatever our question.
Good. And so the way you would answer that question, so what's your question in social studies, Iris?
Mine is how did the colonial Americans determine to come to the United?
So how did colonial Americans determine to move to America? And the way you would answer that would be your main idea, right? It would be the main point you're trying to make, right, Iris?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And so why is that important? Who can tell me why a main idea is important? Sabrina, Nicholas, Sam, I haven't heard from you guys. Why would a main idea be important? Sabrina?
That way there are some terms that may be confusing in one, because like the main idea helps the reader know what like some certain terms mean.
Okay. So that's specific about terms. What about a main idea as a whole, Sam?
It helps the reader understand like you just like understand like what the whole looks like about.
Okay. So it gives us that main focal point that an article or a book is trying to give us without reading the whole thing again. So which is longer, a summary or a main idea? Jake?
A summary.
Why?
A summary includes the most important detail of the book.
Did you say details, Jake?
Yeah.
You would say the most important details, maybe the biggest details? Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep going. Or is that it?
And the main idea is just the topic or idea that the book is all about.
How long would you say a main idea is, Jake?
About a sentence.
About a sentence. And then somebody else, how long would a summary usually be? There's a lot of ways you can answer this. Nicholas, how long do you think a summary would be?
Sentences, 4 medium-sized sentences.
You say 4? What if it was a 2-paragraph article? What would be an appropriate length of a summary there, Grace?
A few sentences.
A few sentences, right? So it varies, depending on how long the text is. Very good. So I want to know, we don't need these anymore. weird. I want to know, how have you summarized in the past? How have you used a strategy in the past to help you summarize? Crosby?
Gradually, I write down the big ideas and stuff that's important, and then I turn that into some.
So you almost, so correct me, stop me at any time. So you almost list the big things you want to cover, and then you write it in a summary?
Yeah.
Okay. Grace, how have you summarized it before?
I take headings, the who, what, where, and why, and then combine them. And make them.
So how do you organize those things?
You like,
Have you guys called them something before? Who, what, where, when, why, then this one?
because they,
Who,
because
what, where, why, and
first
how.
if you say like who, like someone went to the farm
Okay,
and then did something.
okay.
You make,
Have you guys heard of those being called a five-finger summary before? You're nodding. Who? Raise your hand if you've heard of a five-finger summary. Sabrina, I hope your hand would be in there. You said on, when did we do this? Thursday, that you wanted to do a five-point or a five-finger summary? Or is that you saying that? No, maybe not. So a five-finger summary lets you use your hand. Everybody has one of these, right? You have a hand? And it says that, like what Grace was saying, should we try and draw a hand? Gotta make it fat though, so I can write in it. This looks like Popeye's hands. What? What's wrong with it? That looks kind of cool. The pinky? That's okay. So it meant we have to answer 5 questions in a five-finger summary. Who? Who did? Who was it about? Who? What else? Where? Where did it happen?
when,
What happened? Good.
Why?
Why?
when,
That's kind of like what and where.
how.
How? It's not 5 W's. I like to use how. Because when would probably be where. When and where? Can we put those two together? Would that help you? When.
I always said when instead of why.
When instead of why? Okay, I could maybe see that, but then you don't kind of get the motive behind it, right? And so the goal of these is, how long do you make these, Grace or Ava? Have you used one of these before? No. I'm sorry. You don't know. Jake, is your hand up?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How long would you answer each of these questions in?
I would answer about 6 sentences.
For each of them?
No, for all of them together.
So probably about 1 sentence apiece?
Yeah.
So when I was looking these strategies up, one teacher kind of challenged her students, and she said, you need to answer each of those 5 in 5 words. That'd be kind of hard, wouldn't it? 5 words for each one. So if you have your water slide article, let's pull that out. As well as your rat race and your no more bake sales. Get all of your TFKs out.
I have a tiny collection in my desk.
You do have a tiny collection. You're going to have a library by the end of the year. They should all be in your desk. They didn't go home. Catherine, honey, do you have them? I see one. No, just your rat race and your no more bake sales and your slide science. What? Yes, you need all of them out there. Good job, Hunter. Thank you. Get everything on your desk for me.
I don't have the sale.
The bake sale is right on top.
Oh.
You still do. So let's answer these summaries. Let's do a summary with this 5-finger summary. For the slide one. I'm sorry, that's a good question. For the slide one. Who is our who in our slide, the science of summer spawn? Who is our who?
Do you want to write this in our notebook?
That would be a great idea if you want to write it and follow along. We're just kind of talking through it. If you're not quite sure, you can listen maybe once. So, Crosby, who do you think the who is?
Water slide scientist.
Okay, so water slide scientist, and that's only 2 words. Does anybody else have a different idea? I can't see your hands up. Kevin, do you have a different idea?
Water slide designers.
Water slide scientist. I'm gonna put slash designers. How's that going? Okay. That pretty well answers that. How do you get one more thing for us?
International Association of Amusement Parks.
They talked about that one a lot, didn't they? So let's abbreviate that. International Association, IAW. That's almost like Iowa. That's the abbreviation for Iowa. I won't say the best state because then that will just cause an uproar. Let's answer the next question. Where? Where is all this taking place?
Water park.
I'm sorry, I don't see.
Water parks / amusement parks.
Where is it taking place, Iris?
Water parks and amusement parks.
Give me a little more. Where?
In the world.
In the world or across America? They talked about America specifically, didn't they, or am I wrong?
I don't know.
You're right, so.
So, water parks
Around the world.
/ amusement parks around the world. Is that 5? That's 5 perfectly. Does anybody else have an idea for where before we move on? I don't want to miss anybody's thoughts. What's up, Dave?
In like engineer places or like stuff like that, because they were the ones who modeled this stuff.
So they're modeling it in like engineering place. Okay. But the bulk of the story we were talking about is water parks, right? And then they talk about the science behind it. I see where you're going, but I think we'll shy away from that just a little bit. Let's go to what? What happened? Or what is the article about? Hunter, what is this article about?
It's about water slides
Okay.
and scientists that are helping, or scientists that are designing new ones.
Okay. So I like what you said. You said water slides. What's a big word that has to do with like changing things? And it's all around us. It's everywhere. It starts with a T. It could be this. It could be your phone.
Technology.
So water slide technology, right? Because that's ever changing. Hey, I need your hands on your desk. I need your eyes on me, bud. Hunter, that was for you. I need your hands on your desk and your eyes on me. Thank you. So water slide technology. Does anybody have a different idea? What else do they talk about or cover? Cosby?
What makes water slides fun?
So, what if we did the fun and science behind water slides?
Yeah.
That's 4 words. Can we change that? Water slide, fun, and science. Nice. Did we cover the what? Well, there's a lot of W's flowing out of my mouth today. Are we all good on the what?
Yeah. Yes.
Hollis, are you sleeping on me? No? Good. Okay, what about the why? Hollis, why did they write this? Or why did they do what they did in the article? You remember?
To let readers know, how they're changing water slides to make them more safe and cool.
So if we want to let somebody know, what's a single word we could say that is? To, let's say it all together. Inform, very good. So inform who?
People. Like others.
Inform, who did you say, Alice? Did you just say people? Inform people. So that's 2 words. About or of. What? How did you finish it? I don't remember.
How to make your water slides more safe and cool.
Inform people of. Oh, how should we say that? Safety. Inform people of safety and science behind water slides. That might be too many words. We won't count of. That's a filler word. Safety and science. Well, then we know it's about water slides because we're talking about water slides. Okay, very good. One more. What, Iris?
In that, you could say inform people about water slides, Safety.
We could do that. I don't want to erase it and write it again though. Because we're getting low on the board and you guys know I have trouble writing lower on the board. Okay, one more question to answer. How? How are they going to do this? Catherine, do you have a how for me?
How do they?
Not sure. This one could be a little tougher. This one would probably be a little more specific in the article. Crosby, do you have an idea?
They're using roller coaster parts on water slides.
So they're using roller coaster parts. That keeps it safe and fun, right? Does anybody have a different idea? How else did they do it? Hobby?
Scientists like do a bunch of prototypes or like that.
So we did coaster parts. We did prototypes. Did they do it any other way? Did they do it any other way? How did they do it? Does anybody know? Grace?
They
Olivia, and you with me.
they're building more like curvy stuff.
So how can we say that? Do we call it engineering?
Yeah.
Engineering, or would there be a better word? Hunter, I need you with me, bud. How are they making all this happen? So implementation, maybe they're implementing curves and twists and ups and downs. Interesting. And what was something specific? Everybody touched on it in their summaries. They talked about a time in which you go down and you go up and you're floating. You're floating, Chloe. What was that?
The zero gravity.
So that's something specific, right? Did anybody else? And then they talked about the curves. Grace talked about the curves. So we have all these 5 things. If we wanted to write a summary right now, how would we start? Or how would you start? Maybe just your own personal idea. Oh my goodness. I'm giving you guys a lot of time to think. Ella, do you have an idea how you would start? Let's look at just these. Who, what, where, why, and how. What things should we cover first in a summary? What would probably be most important for our readers who's reading a summary? What should they know first? Who? Who's doing something? Good. Hunter, what should we know second? Should we know where it's happening, what's happening, why it's happening, or how it's happening?
Why?
You think we should know who, and then we should know why they're doing it before we even know what they're doing or where they're doing it?
You probably want to know what they're doing.
What? What and where probably go together, right, Hunter?
Yeah.
Could you see them going either way? So we'll do 2/3. I would try shy. 3/2. You're doing the what second? Vincent, what do you think comes next after the what and where? What do you think the readers should know towards the end or almost last? Should we tell them how they're going to do something, or should we tell them why they're going to do something? You gotta speak up for me, bud. It's just how. Do you think we should inform them how they're going to do something or why they're going to do something?
How?
How they're going to do it. Okay. Does anybody have a different idea, or do we like that? Do we like learning how before the why? Do you like the other way around, Grace? Tell me.
I think we should do why first because I think first you want to like inform people about why you're doing it before you go ahead and like say like how.
Okay.
Because why is an important reason to like why are you doing it? What's the point?
Okay. And you know the beauty behind that 5th grade is everybody probably has a different preference. Could we agree on that? So personally, I like doing the who. I like to know who is doing something, what's going on, where is it going on. So I like those 3. But I could see Grace, how she may like why or how split around. Does anybody have a different order? Chloe, what do you have to share? Would you do it a different way?
I wanted to add to what Grace said.
Okay, what do you want to add?
Because if you told people like how they're going to do it, they would kind of probably be confused and they would be like, why would we want to do this? Like before, like while you're telling them how you're going to do it, they might like think, well, why do we want to do it? Like, is it something that would actually make a difference, or like, is it just something that they're doing just to be doing?
Okay. So you think it's more important to know, you would like to know the why before you know how they're going to do something? Okay. Olivia, what do you think? Do you like this order? Do you like something? Would you change something? Why do you like this order?
Actually, when I change it to like first one, then you like switch.
Oh, you would say what's going on first? So what is happening, be your big idea, and then you move into your who? Okay. I can see that. And to be honest, fifth grade, so I asked you to write a summary about this water slide, and you used a 5-finger summary, and you started with how they're going to do something. I'm not going to dock you points. If you can explain it well and concise, Catherine, what are you doing? That looks good. Thank you. You can close it. Thank you. If you give me a good reason why you organized it the way you did, I'm going to give you a high five. From distance, of course. Excellent. Okay. You guys, does anybody have a different way they would do this? So everybody's thinking is the same as mine. Really? I don't believe it. Javi?
Hey, we all think different things, but I agree. I would also take the approach that you did.
Okay. Okay. Alice?
How to do it a different way?
How would you do it?
I would do what first?
Oh, you're going to organize a 5-finger in a different way?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would do what, and then I would do where it's happening, and then I would do why it's happening, and I would do how it's happening, and then
Okay. So, okay, I can see that. Now let's get away from like how you would organize these things. How would you set up a summary other than a 5-finger? Does anybody have a different idea than using this setup? You think this setup is pretty organized? Pretty organized, right? Okay. What's up, Javi?
Another way you could, like another thing you could do is if you're reading an article, you could like what you did when you read this, underline things that were important, and then you can just take those chunks, put it in your words, and write what you think is important about those. And yeah.
Okay, that's a good point, Javi. That brings me here. Do we think, so you guys all wrote these summaries. So we just looked at the article again, and thinking back, would you change the way you did some of these summaries?
Yeah.
How would you change them? Can somebody give me an idea? Nicholas, how would you change your summary? How would you approach your summary different on these pieces of paper around that we worked on these articles? How would you change that if you had to do it today now?
I think we put too many details on it, so we would change on the first few sentences we put on.
That's a great realization, Nicholas. Does anybody have anything similar or something different you would add to that, what Nicholas has said, Crosby?
This was how I would change it.
Okay, how would you change yours?
I think we need a better beginning and a better ending.
Okay, because...
This one's the one I did.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, and why?
Because like if we just jump from the beginning to all the facts, you don't like give them what and like what and how, not any of that. We just jump to the facts.
So it's very detailed in your facts. Okay. All right, Iris, last one here.
I would change ours by organizing it into this order. Because if ours then we have order.
Okay. You gotta keep moving. You gotta keep moving. Okay, So I'm not going to make you summarize the same article again, just because that would be kind of cruel. Maybe we'll come back to it. But this one is kind of long too, which is why, conveniently enough, you have these two articles. You have your rat race and your no bake sale. So which one do we want to start with? I heard we're doing rat race. I heard it twice. So, in your reading journals, go ahead and set it up. If you want to set it up in the order you would do it, and then have a colon and then a few lines so you can write. Well, you probably don't need a few lines because we're going to try and keep it to 5 words or less, right? So I would, if it were me, I would set it up with my who, and then I would do my what, and then my where, and my how, and my why. And so there it's set up so that after you read your article, you are ready to go just to fill it in. Fill in your reading journal for all of those things, okay? So, I would recommend reading the article first. Read through it. Hunter, do you have it set up?
No.
No? Okay, you're working on that. Read your article and then go back and find, okay, who was this article about? What happened? Where did it happen? How and why? What's up, Sam?
Are we trying to keep to 5 words?
Yes. So any answer you put here should be 5 words or less. The one that will be the hardest, probably are these 3. But I have incredible faith that you guys can handle it. What other questions do you have for me? Okay. If you get finished, I will come around and check it. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to back up. Rewind. After you have these 5 things, go ahead and try to write your summary. So, you fill these out in 5 words or less. Under your little chunk, you should have, if you're on a fresh page, you should have a good amount of white space left to write. Craft a summary of this article. Capiche? Well, some of us are still sleeping, so we're making progress. Do you have any questions before you get started? Okay, if you do, you know how to signal me. All right? So you may begin. We don't need to do that. I don't know why. You're not doing that. I think we're going to be okay. You are way too aggressive for Band-Aids and it falls off and don't need Band-Aid, okay? Okay, read the article. Don't do this thing. And then craft your summary, all right?